The development of a human being in its mother's womb is full of miracles. The fetus's ears begin to develop as early as the 22nd day of pregnancy and become fully functional in the 4th month. After that, the fetus can hear sounds in the mother's womb. For that reason, the sense of hearing forms before the other vital functions for a newborn baby. The order set out in the Quran is striking from that point of view. It is He who has created hearing, sight, and minds for you. What little thanks you show! God brought you out of your mother's wombs, knowing nothing at all, and gave you hearing, sight, and minds, so that perhaps you would show thanks. Close examination shows that the senses God refers to in the Quran are always mentioned in a particular order: hearing, sight, and understanding. That is exactly the same order in which a baby's senses develop. In short, one of the discoveries of modern science, the order of development of human organs, is clearly stated in the Quran.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Their ears and their eyes and their skins testify against them as to what they used to do.
Little girl left ears.
Allah.
Little boy left ears.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and make mention of the day when the enemies of Allah are gathered unto the fire, they are driven on, till, when they reach it, their ears and their eyes and their skins testify against them as to what they used to do, and they say unto their skins, Why testify ye against us? They say, Allah hath given us speech, who giveth speech to all things, and who created you at the first, and unto whom ye are returned.
Main lines on right index finger's skin. In this position, the right index finger is used during prayer to witness that Allah is the one and only God. Also here Allah's name is seen in Arabic.
Allah. Allah. Allah.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. In the earth, there are signs for those who seek truth to believe, and in your own selves. So, do you not perceive?
NASA, USA, Allah's sign number 16 of 22.
A few years ago, I was at a conference and taking questions at the end, and I don't usually get hostile questions except from religious people, and they're extremely easy to handle. But then I got a hostile question which was not so easy to handle. It was a very tricky and a difficult question, and I thought, who is this? It turned out to be one of those I'm an atheist but questions, which are always the most difficult to deal with. It was, of course, Lawrence Krauss. I'm delighted that Lawrence is talking to us today. Please welcome.
I'm going to talk about our modern picture of cosmology and how it's changed our view of the universe, the past and the future. And the observation was that the universe was static and eternal. That was the conventional wisdom in science at the time, that the universe had been around forever and would be around forever. And that's the reason why I, as a particle physicist, got involved in cosmology, because I wanted to be the first person to know how the universe would end. It seemed like a good idea. The universe must be flat.
NASA confirms also that the universe is flat, like a sheet of paper.
In fact, it's right now we know to an accuracy of better than 1%. The universe is flat. It has zero total energy, and it could have begun from nothing. You don't need a deity. And in some sense, how that picture is clearly remarkable, and far more remarkable than the fairy tales that are made up in most religious situations.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the day when we shall roll up the heavens, as a recorder rolleth up a written scroll. As we began the first creation, we shall repeat it. It is a promise binding upon us. Lo, we are to perform it.
How does the universe curve? According to Einstein, the universe is a space-time continuum that can take one of three forms: positive curvature, negative curvature, and flat. According to this verse 104 from chapter 21 of the Holy Quran, the universe will end, and another universe will be created in the same creation way. But for 1,400 years, Allah told us in His Quran the exact details explaining the universe end.
When we look at other galaxies, we'll see them coming in toward us on a collision course.
All of a sudden we see stars coming at us from all directions.
All the galaxies will start colliding, and the stars within them will get crunched together.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, when the heaven is cleft asunder,
the stars will collide, the planets will collide, planets will get swallowed by stars.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, when the planets are dispersed,
all of a sudden temperatures begin to rise. All of a sudden the oceans boil.
in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and when the seas will be burst forth,
all of a sudden the mountains will melt.
in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, they ask you about the mountains. So, say to them, my Lord will crush them into dust thoroughly, then will turn them into a leveled plain.
All things must pass.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, lo, the hour is surely coming, there is no doubt thereof, yet most of mankind believe not. And your Lord hath said, pray unto me and I will hear your prayer. Lo, those who scorn my service, they will enter hell, disgraced.
If the universe collapses, what might subsequently follow is another Big Bang, another expansion event.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, as we began the first creation, we shall repeat it. It is a promise binding upon us. Lo, we are to perform it.
Clocks run at different rates in different gravitational fields. The stronger the gravitational field, the more slowly time passes relative to someone out in space where there's no gravitational field.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, verily, they see it, the torment afar off, but we see it quite near. But lo, a day with Allah is as 1,000 years of what ye reckon. And on the day when the hour riseth, the guilty will vow that they did tarry but an hour, thus were they ever deceived. But those to whom knowledge and faith are given will say, the truth is, ye have tarried, by Allah's decree, until the day of resurrection. This is the day of resurrection, but ye used not to know.
This tells us that we are more insignificant than we ever imagined.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, assuredly the creation of the heavens and the earth is greater than the creation of mankind, but most of mankind know not.
The largest energy in the universe, 70% of the energy in the universe, resides in empty space. And we don't have the slightest idea why it's there. We should realize that where there's more we don't understand about the universe than we do.
And of knowledge, ye have been vouchsafed but little.
And far more remarkable than the fairy tales. And far more remarkable than the fairy tales.
Who, when our revelations are recited unto him, saith, mere fables of the men of old.
I don't usually get hostile questions except from religious people, and they're extremely easy to handle.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, say, I am only a mortal like you, my Lord inspireth in me that your God is only one God. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, but oh, if thou couldst see, when the wrongdoers are brought up before their Lord, how they cast the blame one to another, how those who were despised in the earth say unto those who were proud, but for you, we should have been believers. Lo, Allah's promise is the very truth. Let not the life of the world beguile you, nor let the deceiver beguile you, in regard to Allah.